I mean, people out there, I mean, they already know that there are certain artists.
You already know.
They already know that there are certain artists that I will never, ever, ever in me, my life, inside, I will never.
The matter chop hot. Assembly Diloto. Hey! Aye!
DJ Slim has a problem, and today we are going to talk about that problem. According to him, he has a big deal about artists disrespecting the media and what he is also doing about it. My name is Roland. You're welcome. This is live on Roland Report. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe and also, of course, share your views in the comment section. Let me hear from you. Let me know what you think about what we are going to discuss today. Let me say big ups to Shagzy for holding us down, as well as Tete Kwashi Art Market. If you are a lover of art, painting, sculpture works, and even African fabric, just contact them with the numbers on your screens. They are off the Medina La Paz Highway, right at the Tete Kwashi roundabout, opposite the Villaggio building. Call them, and they will definitely get you sorted. And if you're a driver and you're looking for some cool cash to make, just download the driver's app of Shagzy, sign up with just 20 Ghana cedis. Of course, you pay no commission to anybody, and if you're a rider, Val's Day is coming. For Adofu P, your most safe, secure, and affordable ride is definitely Shagzy. What is DJ Slim saying? So the issue there, I want to do this a double-edged sword kind of episode, where I am going to share my view, and of course, I'm also going to report to you what DJ Slim is saying. So even captured on Ghana Web, I have the video as well of which I'm going to play to you. But captured on Ghana Web says, some Ghanaian artists disrespect the media, but expect their works to be promoted. This is coming from DJ Slim. It says, Ghanaian media personality and entertainment pundit DJ Slim has called out some Ghanaian artists for their consistent disrespect towards traditional media houses in the country. In a discussion on Hit FM on Friday, February 11, 2025, DJ Slim pointed out that these artists do not acknowledge or respect the role of the media houses, yet they expect them to promote their works. There are certain artists, this is a quote from Slim, says there are certain artists that I would never understand their ways. However, I respect their talent. I have been to platforms where they ask me about such artists and I answer by distinguishing their craft from their personalities. We live in a country where an artist can rise and disrespect the media and still want the same media to promote them. This is not the first time, and most of us have been abused in one way or another, he stated. He said it has reached a point where some artists even publicly tell their fans how irrelevant media houses have become. We have artists telling their fan base how irrelevant media houses have become, yet expect the same group of people to promote them. The moment you touch a base like this, believe that I am not only the one who would attack you. The players in this field would also come at you, he retorted. DJ Slim added that he would not promote an artist who consistently disrespect the media. And another quote says, most of the time, we have media houses promoting these same groups of artists, and it is their problem. But I am not going to do that because this is where I survive. The bottom line is how we respect each other. If you know and appreciate the contribution of all the players on the field and also respect everyone, we will grow. We have seen how some artists in other countries work, he stated. He added, can an artist disrespect an executive producer and go scot-free? How many times have you seen an artist moving to disrespect media houses in other advanced countries? Yet, it is happening here and nobody is talking about it. Well, I have a video as well for you to also check out. When we come back, I will share my 2 cents on this particular issue. Then maybe we can wrap up on this episode. Stick and stay. I'll be right back.
I now understand where this whole artist being special, I now understand where it's coming from, especially when I had Article 1 who's an artist also way into a conversation as strong as this. I now understand where it's coming from. But we've been through this process too many times for us to be having this conversation in 2025, where we need to understand the relationship that should exist between an ecosystem. And I'm sure he was referring to people outside the ecosystem. But then the part where he mentioned my name means, people out there, they already know that there are certain artists.
You already know
that there are certain artists that I will never, ever, ever in my life, inside, I will never understand their ways. However, I respect their talent. And I've on almost all the platforms that I've been on, when asked a question about them, I will separate their craft from their personality. As to me, being in the right frame of mind as an agent in the ecosystem, would want to promote such artists, that lies with me, because I'm not the only player in the system. There are several players in the system. We live in a country where artists can rise up and disrespect media and still would want media to promote them. It no happen once, it no happen twice. It happen constantly. Most of us have been abused one way or the other. We have artists telling their fan base how irrelevant media houses have become, and they still want the same group of people to be promoting them. Most of the time when I see some media houses and media personalities going at length to promote these artists, I'm like, well, it's your own cup of tea if you feel it sits well with you. But and I'm not going to do that, because this is where I survived. This is where I was brought up. So the moment you touch a base like this, best believe it is not just me. The players in this very field would also come at you. Article 1 made a post about jump and go artists. That is why I asked him, because he's also in an ecosystem where other artists, because regardless, if you are even being built to perform, you are going to need a band or a DJ. Would you want to disrespect that DJ, or would you want to disrespect the band? Is it supposed to be about you? He made that statement that artists, they are some way and they have a star on them, and like, bro, what if the DJ's way is also to also behave the same way like you're doing? Because you are not the person who created me. You also don't know how I behave, or how other DJs or how bandsmen behave. But the bottom of the issue is how we respect each other, because if you know and you appreciate the contribution of all the players in the field, then you approach every player with respect. That is how we grow. And it's not the respect that say, oh, Charlie, come and greet me, or come. No. The reason why I've not insulted your profession is that you've not insulted mine. You've not come into my territory to disrespect mine. So I'll forever respect yours. But if you enter into my territory and tell me, oh, and you expect me, you get it. But I'm sure he's coming from a different background. Yesterday, I decided not to engage, because Kwame Dazi, we are still, as he said, I just mature. Now, if I engage, I'm engaging for social media purposes. That's all. But one-on-one, it doesn't. Charlie, if you go work for you, fair enough, do whatever go work for you. If you go put food on your table, go ahead and do it. Because we should understand at this point in time, we've seen how models are working in other countries. You sure see some artists go get up, go disrespect the executive producer, and then go scot-free. But it's happening here. And nobody talks about it. How many times do you see artists moving to media houses in advanced countries? How many times? We don't see it. But it's happening here, and nobody's talking about it. And if they are moving forward, they are advancing with the years, so we will go figure there. Charlie.
DJ Slim for you. Well, in my opinion, he has a point. I know you'll be surprised, but yes, he has a point. And his point is very valid, and here especially in his feelings. He has every right as any normal human being to feel disrespected when somebody comes at him. But of course, the conversation that he is also talking about also needs some form of introspection. Now, let's enter into that conversation. Slim is talking about disrespect from artists or creatives towards the media, of which he would want to reciprocate. Now, on the other hand, I am also looking at the table being turned, where there is also some form of disrespect from the media to the artist, and how we will be able to balance this conversation. Because most of the times, yes, some of us are on media platforms, we are media people, but we always say that we are not the epitome of wisdom. We are never the wisdomic bank. Sometimes the fans can tell you certain things that you have the platform, you may not know, or you would even have to go and research before you even find out. And in that aspect, I believe we should also be very tolerant, because sometimes the kind of things that come from media platforms to artists are things that, if they should also try to reciprocate in that same form, of which some of them would, that is when you have some people like Slim being in their feelings and say, because of that, we are not going to promote artists again, or we are not going to promote artists. Typical example is one of the ignorant statements made by Saliman on her show. And this happened on a media platform, a giant media platform for that matter. Yes, you may see that as maybe, oh, she's just trying to trend. But that was a huge misrepresentation of whatever lyrics she was even trying to interpret. And also a huge insult to the artist in question. Did she apologize? The answer is definitely no. Another example, a recent example, is Honorable Makoko Kumante's view or assertion trying to break down King Palute's lyrics, a line in his song Makoma, of which he even attributed it to profanity. But the interpretation from the artist himself and his team said otherwise. Will the honorable man who sat on that giant media platform come to apologize? The answer is definitely no. These are just two instances out of many, plenty, that if we want to break them down and ask them to also come and tell their story, nobody would have it easy in this country. Then of course, every department would now have to shut down, because you agree that it is an ecosystem and we depend on each other. So you sit on radio and you think you have the right to say, okay, I'm not going to promote this artist, or I'm not going to play his song. Fair enough. Fine. That's a fine case. But then, you are forgetting that on that same medium, you don't, in terms of even paying utility bills and other stuff, you are not responsible for it. So the business aspect of the whole conversation itself is now taken out. Because I am looking out for when you're on your platform, that is the street is watching. Slim would bring a guest onto the show and say, oh, I want to interview Flo Kingston. Then the cameraman, the guy behind the camera, will come and tell Slim that, Charlie, Michelle Flo Kingston will show be saying, and the way he disrespected me or one guy, why didn't he see crap from the minka? Because it is the same thing. Because if an artist is coming on Hit FM to come and promote his song or to come and promote himself, and is even ready to pay, even if he is not paying, there's some form of relevance that he is bringing on the show. At the end of the day, he is also a form of content. So if on that score, you think you have the right to say, I will not play his song, then what are you doing to the station in general? Because they depend on these contents to build traction, to get money to run the station. That is it. Same way, if your camera guy tells you that don't promote this guy or don't interview him because he has insulted me, you will see it as weird. You will see it as not making sense. And it is what it is. Bro, even if we are to bring DJ Slim as a personality in question into this conversation and we want to dissect it, they say he who calls for equity must come with clean hands. Unfortunately, the person that is calling for this kind of equity self as a watogatem, I won't lie. Because in that same vein, if we want to talk about artists that have also been disrespected or felt disrespect from DJ Slim as a personality, and then where did you orchestrate one at him? Where did you wear at him? I think Orchestrawan and Annie Dusty had some back and forth on Hit FM, where Annie Dusty even sacked Orchestrawan at a point. Yes, they've resolved whatever differences. But I'm also looking at that same instance when artists in general will say that, oh, you've disrespected one person, so we are not going to promote you. Or we are not going to also come on your platform. I believe it will be unfair. Even for them to also say that they will not go on any platform again. You will tell them it is unfair. You will tell them it is unfair. And even the disrespect that you are talking about, we all know, if we want to be true to ourselves, the ones that do not feel disrespected are still working with these artists because they know and understand business. Whatever their personal feelings and sentiments are, they have every right and every opportunity to express them. But on the business grounds, I don't think it is a wise decision. Well, this is just my 2 cents on this particular issue. Maybe you have a lot to also say. Of course, the comment section is definitely designed for you. Let me hear from you. Let me know what you think about what DJ Slim is saying. According to him, he can never, would never promote any artist that is disrespecting the media. Well, share your views in the comment section. My name is Roland. Thanks for tuning in. I'll meet you in the next one. Bye-bye.
The matter chop hot. A feminine diloto. Hey! Aye! Hey!